Really, really nice to see so many people. And thank you, Christine, for letting us come and these lovely people. But it changed, listen. About 3 months later, boom, collapsed again. About 3 months, went to hospital, a different doctor saw me. I don't know about any of you guys, but when I don't know how old you are, but when I was younger, I used to go see the doctor, and it was the same doctor every time. Now, I'm seeing different doctors every time. Well, I used to go. I've been to doctors for 7 years because I've not had a pill for 7 years. I'll tell you how I got here. I still didn't listen. Second time I collapsed, I thought I was going to die. I got back out, still went to my drinks, still went to my burgers, whatever I was doing, not drinking water, not listening. It had to happen for the 3rd time for me to listen. So if you sat here and you're telling people about, you need to lose weight, you need to give up this, give up that, I'm with you. And then until it happens, and you realise yourself, this young doctor, Dr. Imran, he must have been about 25 years old, this kid. And he's telling me, he's a doctor, look, what doctor? He goes, Mr. Ditta, you're asking for it. I've seen you twice, 3rd time now. You need to start changing your eating habits, what you're drinking, or you're asking for it. Your heart's overworking, your liver's buggered, yet all these things were, and I thought, well, I'm 48 and I was knackered ready to go. I'm 55 now and I'm fittest I've ever been, and I'll tell you how I got here. So when I left the hospital, a 3rd time, I thought I was going to die, so I made a deal with my maker at the time. I said, if you let me live, I'll come back and I'll change, I promise I'll change, I'll nearly in tears. And for 3 days, I went to hospital. When I got out, the doctor says to me before I did, he says, Mr. Ditta, do you drink any water? I says, no. He says, you don't drink any water? I says, no. He says, 70% of your body is water. So what you're supposed to do is drink 70% and eat 30. The 30 you eat is good food. But what's happening is, you're eating 70% and you're drinking 30, and the 30% you're drinking is teas, coffees, pops and Red Bulls. No water. So you get a fraction of the water you need. Put his pen down and walked off. I remember thinking, the guy's young, but he's right. So when I got to hospital, I started researching. I researched about tap water, the fluoride in it, the chlorine in it, the nasty stuff in it, and it wasn't resonating with me. So I used to boil the water first, let it cool down, put it in a glass jug, and put some lime or lemon in it to make it alkalised. That's what I learned. So I did that for a while. I went online and I found this Japanese doctor talking about this water, Kangen water. He says it can help with gout, help with acid reflux, help with kidney stones. I thought, guys, I said, how can Torch do that? So I'm living in Leeds, we come from Leeds, Whinston. So I jumped in the car, drove out to London, see the Japanese guy. Not him, that's Mr. Shabir, we actually knew of him. Really nice, kept on bowing to me, looking at me, and he goes, the machine, you go buy a machine, take water. So you give me some of these. 5 litres. So no, give me 4 or 5 of them. They take the money off me. Lovely. It's okay. Go away now, Chris. So I started drinking this water. The first time I used to get a bad pain of IBS, really, really bad. It was really painful. And I've emptied my account with someone said, get rid of that pain for you today. And I've given them money. Because pain, really. And I drank the water, I didn't have no pain that night. I thought, forget the gallbladder stone. Second day, no pain. 3rd day, no pain. So I rung him up. Yeah, doctor, what do you think is wrong? He goes, it's the water. It's alkalising you. It's not electrical. It's in the water. He's telling me all these properties the water has. Then I studied it, then I took it seriously. And you've all got some water, and you're all drinking it, and it's part of the test, because this water will get to your head in 60 seconds. It might even make some people light-headed. I'm not talking about the booze. Yeah. So if you want seconds, there's some of the bacteria there. So when you drink this water, it's not getting to your stomach. It's actually disappearing before it gets to your stomach. It's that thing. So, rather than, that's my story. So then I started sharing the water with people. I come across Whinston and Whinston had kidney stones. He didn't believe me. I gave him the water. 2 months later, I went to his doctor. No, kidney stones. Miraculous. I thought, wow, I can find people with kidney stones. You need the water now. So I started studying the water, went out to see him, and I got a machine and I started drinking the water. And I lost half a stone a month. And Winston's got my phone there. The company I will talk about is what the doctor told me. I'm going to pass that information on to you. That makes sense? Is that okay to do? Yeah? Right, the company is called Inagic that makes these medical ionizers. They're a medical manufacturing company from Japan. They've been going for 47 years. I've met the CEO. All the CEO kept him round to me. Really, really humble people. Yeah. So it's a certified medical manufacturer of Kangen water ionizers. These are these machines you can see at the front here. And Whinston later on is going to demonstrate the water, the properties of it, so you can see what it is. So they supply medical equipment to Japanese hospitals. Now, people have asked me, oh, they supply English hospitals, American hospitals. I said, mate, this is, if you knew who getting paid are the doctors and big pharma and stuff, they don't like stuff like this. But in Japanese people, they've got the longest life expectancies in the world, the Japanese. And 1 in 4 people, 1 in 4 homes in Japan have one of these devices. I think it's 1 in 650,000 in England. So it's ISO regulated and they're in 24 countries and distributors, 44 locations around the world. Now distributors, any one of you lovely people can buy all these devices and start sharing it and marketing it and the company will pay you. That's called distributors. That's what we understand. Distributors. But I find ill people, I find people with gout, acid reflux, IBS, and kidney stones. And 4 or 5, because they're the people that can't try the water and it'll really help them out instantly. So for any of you lovely people here, I've got a little ailment, yeah, 10 litres of Whinston, a litre a day for 10 days, there's a 95% chance whatever you've got will go away. And you don't need it at all. So not only did I discover like there were fluoride in tap water which hardens the third eye, and if anybody practices meditation or Sufism, I've been practicing Sufism for 4 years, and I went to Kangen, my roomie's place, I was telling Ed, and that's where I discovered about the third eye, and fluoride hardening it. That really scared me. And since I started to stop work, I'm dreaming a lot. I dream a lot. Before I never used to dream, and I wonder what it was. It's the bloody fluoride in the tap water that's hardening your gland. That's what's happening. So that's a bit about the company, and I want you to know that the company is a medical manufacturer. It makes the stuff from start to finish. Doesn't import nothing in. It makes the molds, designs them from start to finish. The whole process, and they test them, and they test them, and they test them. All in-house. There's one technician, so I think Yako Nakato, yeah, made my machine. I've got the number on the back of this machine. I can tell Magic who made my machine. There's one technician starts it from start, from A, and he builds it right to the end, like Aston Martin, right to finish. If anything goes wrong with the machines, it goes back to him. See what's pulling them up. See what's, they don't go wrong. They last a lifetime. They've got 5 new ones, and they build to last a lifetime. So that's a bit about the company. Now, the qualifications. Now, it's not endorsed in America or in England, so don't look for it because it's not there. It's only in Japan, Japanese hospitals. It is getting to some homes now. So it's endorsed by the Prevention of Medical Adult Disease in Japan, with over 6,500 doctors that back it up. Yeah, and then you've got the medical certificates. This is just to give you a bit of background on the certification and the credibility of the company, because it's not here today, gone tomorrow. It's been around 50 years, and I spoke to the CEO, and he wants to be around for another 50 years, 100 years, wherever it can. Just getting going. Right, so Inagic sell over 10,000 of these machines a month from the factory in Japan. They go all over the world. Yeah, the market is people with small ailments looking for ways to get back to good health. And I don't mean pharmaceuticals or pills and potions. I used to be on so many pills, Galveston, you name it, I was on it. I can't tell you how many, but so if people are looking, look, there's no way out. There is. Because I was a worst case scenario. Right, so I can do it, anybody can do it. You just need to change your mindset. So, how many people do you know that fit that description? They've got a little bit of weight, they've got a bit of gout, a bit of acid reflux, a bit of kidney stones, and just simple, so simple as water will really help them out big time. But you've got to understand that your body's 70% water, and you can't just have a little bit. You've got to have at least a litre and a half, 2 litres a day, every day. And if you're not drinking water, that's quite difficult to do. But it's not with Kangen water, because you'll know as you drink it, it'll disappear in your body before it gets to your stomach. Because, as Whinston will show the demonstration here, it's microclusters, which is very, very thin water. Got a rough idea what's happening. I don't need to educate anybody, there's a lot of intelligent people in this room. Look at the top two. I'm not going to go through all of them. This is the leading cause of death in the UK. That there is heart disease. That there is cancer. And you know, you can't get cancer by sitting next to somebody. You can't get heart disease by sitting next to somebody. So this is something that you've taken in. So I've read the book, Dr. Emma Francis. Have you read that book? Never Be Sick Again. You need to read that book. I'll share it with you. In that book, the doctor's 87, has never been ill. There's two reasons for disease. I need to talk to you. Number one, deficiency of to the cell. Something you're not giving your cell that you're supposed to be giving it, like plenty of water. Or deficiency. Or toxicity. Something that you're giving yourself that you shouldn't be. And it's killing the cell. I will do both. I was eating really bad food, like rising. So now I don't eat rubbish, I don't eat dead food. I just eat alive food and drink plenty of water. And I've like gives me plenty of energy. So we're just going to talk about the top two. I mean, look at war compared to how many people are passing away with illness. This is stuff that we can do to prevent our own people all around us are dying. Don't understand this principle of looking after yourself. 90% of disease starts in the stomach. I think it does. It's what you eat. Cancer, I mean, what can I tell you about cancer? We've got people, Winston's got a friend. The doctors give him 3 months to live. They give him 3 months to live. You're no emotion. He just went, oh, I've got some bad news for you. You've got a few weeks. See you later. There's a one. Goes to Winston. Now it's not just the water, it's a whole lifestyle change. I don't know if everyone's heard of Margaret Gerson, she does the juicing. So we put on the juicing, we put on the CBD oil, and we put on the 9.5 water. Yeah? Thank goodness, 4 years later, it's still around. Doctors give him 3 months. It's bullshit. Honest, sorry for swearing, but the doctors are full of it. You should be your own doctor. You shouldn't trust another man to tell you what to do and what to eat. And they're just making money off you with commodities. It's horrible. Right, people say, I'll just try to tell you. Right, anybody heard of this guy here? Dr. Otto Warburg. Anybody heard of him? Hold your hands up if you've heard of him. Right, a few people. Yeah, when I learned about this guy, what he's got, he discovered in 1931. 1931! 2021 now. Yeah, the cancer tissues, right? While the healthy tissues are alkaline. So what I say there, cancer is acidic. Period. Acidity is cancer, and that's it. All forms of cancer have two basic conditions. Acidosis, which you all know is overload of acid, we'll show you how to do that. And hypoxia, which is lack of oxygen. Yeah, a deprived cell, 35% oxygen, 40 hours, is becoming cancerous. Read that last paragraph, just understand it in your head. So if you've got people around you, loved ones, I mean, give them the onion juice, give them the garlic, give them the 8.5, give them the CBD oil, forget the pills. Stick them in the woods for a couple of weeks, and they drink fresh spring water. Yeah, so cancer grows in an acidic environment, cannot live in an alkaline environment, can't live there, wrong environment. So everything we eat, pack it in a tin, chuck it in the bin. Honest, because it's acidic. And that's what the sugars get acidic, the ovaries get sick, it's all acid. And acid actually makes you eat more as well. That's why when I started drinking the alkalized water, I've gone through like 7 hours and I thought, I'm not eating anything yet. Alkalize in your body and you're neutralizing acids. It doesn't send a signal to your brain, you're getting hungry. So you actually, that's why a lot of the time you lose the way that way as well. But when you're spending stuff on your health, you start researching bit by bit, you research what makes sense to you, what doesn't make sense. And you use your own law, and you do your own research. I mean, I did so much research, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. I spoke to my doctor says, now leave that alone, it's good for carb, it's not good for you. That's what my doctor said. I ain't seen him for 7 years. I ain't seen my doctor for 7 years, and you know, I've not had an aspirin or a pill or nothing for 7 years. And it's because let food be thy medicine. Simple as. So I think, so Dr. Warburg, he discovered this, right, and nobody even knows about it. What's he talking about pH? You know what pH is? Yeah. Who knows what pH is? What is it? pH, potential hydrogen, thank you, I'll put it on. See, I told you a little bit of this. Who knows the blood pH? The blood pH is 7.365. 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That's how you remember that. Your blood pH is the most important pH. The average, we've got a friend called Tracy Peake, she's in Sheffield, she's a pharmacist and she tests pH with people. The average pH of people in the UK is 6.4. That's where disease lives. 6.4. And you're supposed to be. So you get here, the chances of you getting ill are very rare. Very slim. So this machine makes an 8.5 pH water. That's what you're drinking now. Is that 8.5? 9. Sorry, you're drinking 9. You're going to sell them more high, Whinston, what are you doing?
No. Always in the middle.
8.5. So if logically it makes sense to you. What I did, what the Japanese doctor told me to do, he said, listen, your average pH is lower. If you drink 8.5, it'll pull you up to 7.5. And that's what I've been doing for 8 years. So I'm drinking 8.5 crystallised water, and it's pulling my pH up. I hardly get hungry, I sleep well, I don't get ill. Yeah. So I'm not saying I won't get ill. No, you can't. It's not a medical thing. It's not the water, it's your body's reaction to the water. Because it hydrates it on a molecular level. So each cell, if you can imagine a cell, which I'll show you anyway on the next slide. So, you understand that bit of pH? That's just one property. Okay. I don't need to tell you that, because you're intelligent people. You know that your body's 70% water. They say 70% water, but we don't drink 70% water. Call it half and half. So whatever weight of food you're supposed to drink, you're supposed to have the same weight in water. Who does that? I think 5% of people in the UK will do that. I guarantee if you change that around and measure what you eat, you'll start to feel better and get better. It'll happen that way. Your cells, like a fish in a fish bowl. So what do fish do in a fish bowl? When you feed them, what do they do? They poo. What happens to the poo if you don't change it in the water? What happens to it if you don't change the water? The fish are going to die. They're going to die out there, so carry on putting acid waste in that water. They're all going to die. It's the same as our cells. Inside, like a fish bowl, all these cells, different types of cells, tissue cells, blood cells, muscle cells, bone cells, they're all like little entities living in our environment, trillions of them. And it's our job to look after them. Give them the right water, give them the right food, the right temperature, and it'll run right. If it doesn't run right, then they can start dying, and that's what causes disease and stuff. That's what happened to me. I'll just give myself the wrong foods, a lot of sugar, no exercise, no water. Okay. I don't know if you knew this, but this is the amount of water you lose, roughly, on a daily basis. Yeah? So, you're losing half a litre by breathing. I don't know if it's half a litre, but it depends what you weigh really, so it's not like cemented in stone. So you're losing this water about a litre or 2 a day. So what are you replacing it with? I used to do this. I used to replace it with coffee, tea, pop, beer, soda, no water at all. And if we're drinking water, I buy this rubbish. And I'll tell you why it's rubbish after Whinston does a demo. And a little bit of that, of the tap water. That's all we're having. So replacing it with, I don't think a lot of people in here, who still drinks tap water? There'll come a time when people say to you, are you still drinking tap water? Really? Wow. So you know you don't need me to tell you other people like what's in the tap water. But if you write to your water company, I have from Whinston House, they'll kindly give you a list of everything that's in the tap water. Cyanide, arsenic, I don't know what they put in it. So I'll give you a list. I'll put it on here, but I don't want to scare you. Because Christy's from drinking tap water, she might collapse. Right, so bottled water. And people think the alternative to tap water, I get healthy, I get some bottled water. Now, Whinston's a great tester, they'll test a bottle of water for you. It's generally acidic, it's boiled before it's boiled in the plastic, so the plastic goes up into the water, it's stored for years, months, maybe years. When you get it, it's essentially dead water. So it's going in your, landing your stomach, you're into the toilet, that's it. No goodness whatsoever, people think it's cleaner. You're actually better off with tap water, it's got more minerals in it. Springs around the world. Now, you'll know when I show you the springs, which springs there are around the world. discovered that miracle healing water has three properties. It's alkaline, like smaller clusters. So when you drink the water, it'll disappear in you before it gets to your stomach. And it's got active electrons, where chemical electrical pulses inside, it's flowing through chemical electrical pulses. It's got electrons in it, and we're chemical electrical beings. So that's why you start getting a bit of a head rush. You only get one, you know? Seconds if you want to go there. Right, these are the places where these natural spring waters are. And you've heard loads of people that go to these places and they come back off, feel brilliant about this water, and it's energized me, and it's people say it's through the illness. I mean, people go to these places like Zamzam's are famous when all go to Japan. There's all these famous springs that people go to get these waters, and they've got these three properties. That's what this machine replicates. So it changes your tap water into spring-like water. So Kangen means back to origin. Yeah, I'm going to hand the mic to Whinston, and Winston's again going to explain about the Kangen water, how this machine produces this type of water, and how it can massively benefit your health. Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Is that better? Okay. So, as you can see, yeah. No problem. Yeah, so I was diagnosed with severe kidney stone problems because, as you're aware, some of us just go out, drink, binge booze, this, luxury holidays, and if you've ever been on all-inclusive, you want to get your money's worth. That was me, right? Never left the bar, didn't do anything. If I'm paying 2 or 3 grand, I'm getting my money's worth. Maldives, Sri Lanka, Mexico, back to Sri Lanka, Jamaica, Africa, and trust me, keeling over in the Maldives when you can't go nowhere, in the fetus position, is a serious problem. Same thing happened in Mexico. Every time I come back here, I used to do insurance, go to Bupa, pay 200 and odd quid, go and hydrate yourself, Mr. Thomas. Didn't understand the word, straight to the pub. Happened again. Happened again. This time, when I went to the hospital, the guy's saying, Mr. Thomas, look at your kidneys. Half of each was solid white. And it frightened me to the point where I was almost in tears because he's telling me how they're going to operate on me. You know, through the penis, the urethra, the bladder, and into the kidneys. Well, when I went and told a friend of mine, he just went, I knew exactly what he meant. He says, do you drink water, Winston? I says, well, if you've got to think about it, you obviously don't. So that's when he took me into his kitchen, and I started seeing these things. I drank 2 litres before I left, and continued drinking it until I was called in for this supposedly emergency operation that took 3 years, by the way. Wow. Right? So if you want to hear Shabir's story, that's incorrect. It's not 8 weeks, 3 years before they called me. Yeah? This time I'm on the bed for the pre-op, and he just turned around and says, what have you been doing? And I says, what do you mean? He says, well, look here, this is you before and this is you now. What have you been doing? I says, oh, a good friend of mine told me to drink this special water, and is there a problem? He says, no, look, that's solid. There's 4 specks in each kidney there. That's the stones that you've got left. You don't need an operation. Go and thank your friend and keep doing what you're doing. That's what I've been doing ever since. You see? And that's all down to this. So, like sugar, we're very passionate about it. You don't need to buy them from us. You can come and get the water for free. But I will tell you this, I live with the GP's daughter. And even, you could call her my mother-in-law. Winston, you drink too much water. And this is a doctor. I says, what do you mean? You're drinking far too much water. So I used to lie to her and just say, no, doctor, but I'm only drinking 2 litres a day. But I educated myself to drink 2 litres, 2.5, 3, 3.5, some days 10 litres, right? But I've also learned to replenish my body with natural salts. Otherwise you're flushing everything out. And that's after watching a chiropractor talking about his 14-year-old drinking 2 gallons. I went, 2 gallons? That's 10 litres. But then I understood it's this water, and it's smaller, thinner, so naturally your body absorbs it. So you can see, I've got a little podge on now, believe it or not, but every 90 days I actually change the way I eat. So my diet changes 4 times a year. But that suits me fine, because at 60 years old I should have a little bit of girth, because, you know, I can starve for a few days, yeah? But I still drink, on average, 4.5 to 5 to 6 litres of this water per day. And then every so often, I'll have a pinch of natural salts, right? I also have salt baths to get magnesium back into my system, yeah? Because everybody forgets about salt. I make magnesium salt, or oil they call it, but really. And it's to spray on the body. So where it stings, you're deficient. See? So I've been doing that now for the last 6 years. So hopefully, whatever's coming ain't getting me. Right, so listen. There's not much of the slides to do anything else. We're just going to go on straight into this little demo. There's normally a lot more to do, but I'm mindful of the time of everybody else. So I'm just going to get on with doing this, and then you can judge for yourself. Right. Island Spring. Anybody drink this one? Okay.
Right, okay. Silent Spring. I'm holding this because you can't obviously hold the mic.
Right, so we're going to put a little bit of that there. Shabir's ex-favourite water.
There's nothing smart about that.
This is your Coca-Cola reverse osmosis. And if you remember, you never see this side of your water sold in this country because Mrs. Thatcher actually threw Coca-Cola out back in the late 80s, early 90s, because it was only tap water. Yeah? So it's never been sold here since. Evian? Who's the Evian drinker? Nobody? Okay, maybe you should hold it in front of the mirror and see what it spells. Okay, flavoured water, because a lot of people drink flavoured water, right? So we'll put a bit of that in a glass. And then this represents all fizzy drinks, so whether it's your Monster, your Red Bull, your Lucasade, your Iron Brew, we're using Sprite or 7 because of its lighting colour, and you can actually see what's going on. And then, tap water, Shabir?
So go to the toilet and get some tap water.
Please, yeah. And I will also put a bit of Kangen water in here. And I've got to tell you a little story, by the way. My mother, for 10 years, would not drink any of this water from me. And I assume it's the same with a lot of mothers. I don't know what I'm talking about. I gave birth to you, I boil my water, I put it in the fridge, I drink a bottle a week. But this is a lady that's been taking diabetic tablets since 1984. Because for some reason, and it's not just with old black people, lots of people pay attention to absolutely everything the doctors tell them, right? The problem was, she collapsed 2 years ago. This month, 6th of September 2019, we thought that she was going to die this condition of how she looked in, because she was laid behind her own door for a day and a half, and she's got great grandchildren living next door, right? So when my sister called me, straight to the hospital, and this is where I had the opportunity to literally bully my brothers and sisters and say, well, I've got the time, I'll just turn up. I'm going to be here morning, afternoon, evening and night. Because if, you know, you go to the hospital nowadays, you're dripped up, wired up. How are you going to get the food? They bring the trolley, you don't take it, they come and take it away again, don't they? So I used to go in there with my water, made sure that she was fed, watered, and then I would spray her legs with a strong acidic water, which is known as hypochlorous acid, and within 6 weeks, she was back home, back to normal. My sister bought a machine. She was dying of sarcoidosis for 10 years, you see? Now go and get the machine off her, you see? And she's actually getting better, because apparently whatever this disease is, they had her in the Lancet because it's so severe, because it's your body attacking itself. So her eyes are going, the liver, the heart, the this, the that. But Kangen water seems to be aiding her, or aiding the body to sort of get back to an half decent state. Put some ethanol, or in schools nowadays they call it universal tester. So if you see your favourite water up here, do let us know. And there's your tap water, and there's your Kangen water. Where's my pencil here? There we go. We give it a little bit of a stir. By the way, these waters are all dated anywhere between 1 and 3.